it's online, and I think there is something you have to prove.
Yeah, Bryce Young, we mentioned him. He's currently standing by with Chris Singletary and Greg Biggins. So here's a guy who came through here already and is doing it big at the college level. Let's toss it to the field.
So we are here with Bryce Young, kind of a legend in some of the California circles. Bryce, we're talking about Alabama football specifically. You know, when you committed to Alabama, obviously you get there. Are you super recognizable? Do you feel like there's a little bit maybe of a target on your chest? Do you feel like there's a standard to live up to being an Alabama quarterback, especially?
Yeah, definitely a standard to live up to. I think that's the big thing. Definitely a standard. That's just when you sign up to go to Alabama, that's what they stress during recruiting. So there's definitely a standard that when you're young, you're not there yet. So you have to learn it, figure out how to get there, and that's a big thing. But also another great thing about Alabama is I think it's the opposite. We're all you know, highly recruited. We're all highly touted. We're all, known where we're from. And you bring all those guys together, and, when you do that, it kind of hits the reset button. So when I got to college, it was, regardless of what I had done in high school, it's all about what you can do now that you're there. So everyone was the best where they were from, and, we all get the best guys. We all get to compete, kind of fill each other out. And then you go out there and, all the stars and everything kind of goes away. So that's what I loved a lot about Alabama.
So I got $1 million question for you. It's an easy question, maybe. Now with the news that USC and UCLA are now in the Big Ten, if USC had been in the Big Ten where you were coming out, would that have changed your mind or even give you a little inkling of maybe doing something different than going to Alabama?
I think it wasn't really anything about USC or any other school. I think it was just what Alabama was for me. I think, it wasn't too much about, I was committed to USC for a time, and, I loved USC, and it wasn't anything that they didn't do or what they were, where they weren't. It was more where just knowing what Alabama could do for me, how they could help me, how much better I can get, knowing what the best opportunity was for me. So I was super happy with making the decision, super happy that I did. So I think regardless of what happened, I would be happy at Alabama.
Hey, Bryce, so we're at Elite 11, so let's ask a couple Elite 11 questions. I remember when you were coming up, we're in Frisco, Texas, right, at the Star. What do you remember most about your Elite 11 experience?
Yeah, it was just a great, really what stuck with me most of the relationships I built. It was a little different. We had the opening tied into it too, so there's a lot more people. But even with the Elite 11, the guys that I got close with there on that weekend, I'm still close with to this day. We still text in the group chat that we have from that very weekend. So I think really the biggest thing that stuck with me was the relationships I built, being able to just have a weekend with the guys and that I met there, and really build a relationship with them. And now everyone's all over the country, and it's wild to think at so many schools there's people I know that I was able to really genuinely work with, learn from, and I think that was really the biggest thing that stuck out for me.
One last question that we have for you. You've done it on the highest level from a collegiate standpoint. What advice have you been able to share with these guys just through your experiences in Tuscaloosa of just how to handle football, outside of football, anything? What is one golden nugget that you share with these guys?
I think my message really has just been to keep the main thing the main thing. When you have success on the field and you working to be better and get better for your team, everything is going to follow. The stuff off the field, a lot of it's out of our control. So when we focus on what we're supposed to focus on, you have success there. That's what's most important. And, when you're able to do that and you're able to put your mind there, all the rest of it will work itself out.
Hey, you hear it from Bryce Young. Now we'll throw it back to Pate and Bud.
Yeah, we'll take that word as gospel. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate Bryce for joining us. All right, as we wrap up here, some final thoughts, and I wanted to kick